TV soap news and spoilers say that in the shadowy world of daytime soap operas, where love triangles twist into knots of betrayal and fortunes rise and fall like the tides of fate, Beyond the Gates has long captivated audiences with its blend of glamour, intrigue, and heart-wrenching drama. But in recent episodes, a chilling question has begun to haunt viewers. Is death truly coming for Bill, the steadfast patriarch whose life has been a whirlwind of opulence, romance, and now, it seems, mortal peril? As the plot thickens like a storm cloud gathering on the horizon, whispers of foul play echo through the luxurious mansions and hidden alleys of the show's fictional universe. Today, we're diving deep into this gripping storyline, dissecting the clues, motivations, and potential outcomes that have fans on the edge of their seats. Why do we suspect that Bill's days might be numbered? Let's explore the evidence, layer by layer, in this comprehensive analysis that promises to leave you questioning every alliance and every glance in Beyond the Gates. To set the stage, let's rewind a bit and recall the essence of Bill's character. Played with commanding presence by veteran actor Marcus Hale, Bill Montgomery is the epitome of the self-made billionaire, rising from humble beginnings in a dusty Midwestern town to amass a fortune in real estate and tech investments. His life has been a tapestry of triumphs and tragedies, the loss of his first wife in a mysterious car accident years ago, the turbulent relationships with his children who often rebel against his iron-fisted control, and now, his whirlwind marriage to the enigmatic Haley Sinclair. Haley, portrayed by the sultry Sophia Reyes, entered the scene like a breath of fresh air, or so it seemed. With her cascading auburn locks, piercing green eyes, and a smile that could melt steel, she swept Bill off his feet during a lavish charity gala in episode 1.045. Their courtship was a fairy tale. Candlelit dinners overlooking the city skyline, spontaneous trips to Paris, and gifts of diamonds that sparkled like stars in the night sky. But as seasoned soap fans know, fairy tales in this genre often conceal daggers in the dark. The turning point came in episode 1.161, a pivotal installment that aired amid heightened anticipation. Titled Shadows of Deception, it peeled back the layers of Haley's facade, revealing her not as the devoted wife Bill believed her to be, but as a cunning scammer with eyes fixed firmly on his vast wealth. The episode opened with a tense confrontation in the opulent Montgomery Estates library, where leather-bound books lined the walls and a roaring fireplace cast flickering shadows that seemed to dance with malice. Randy, Haley's shady accomplice, introduced earlier as her long-lost brother, but now exposed as her partner in crime, slipped into the room like a ghost. Randy, with his slicked-back hair and perpetual smirk, has always been the wild card, a character whose loyalties shift like sand in the wind. In a hushed whisper, he urged Haley to cut their losses and flee. "We've got the cash and those diamonds Bill showered you with," he said, his voice laced with urgency. "It's time to vanish, head to some sun-soaked beach where no one knows our names." But Haley, ever the ambitious schemer, wasn't content with mere trinkets and pocket change. Her response sent shivers down the spines of viewers. "No, Randy. We're thinking too small. Bill has to die. That $10 million life insurance policy he took out last year? That's our real payday." The camera lingered on her face, her eyes gleaming with a predatory hunger that transformed her beauty into something terrifying. This revelation wasn't just a plot twist, it was a seismic shift, exposing the depths of her greed. The policy in question had been mentioned in passing during an earlier episode, where Bill, in a moment of vulnerability after a health scare, a minor heart flutter that hinted at his advancing age, confided in Haley about securing their future. Little did he know that his act of love was signing his own death warrant. What makes this storyline so dramatically compelling is the way it builds on the classic soap opera tropes of inheritance, betrayal, and murder, but infuses them with modern psychological depth. Haley's motivations aren't just financial, they're rooted in a backstory that's been teased through flashbacks. We learn that Haley grew up in poverty, abandoned by her parents and forced to hustle on the streets of a gritty urban sprawl. Her alliance with Randy isn't mere convenience, they're cousins, bound by blood and a shared history of scams that started small, petty thefts and forged checks, but escalated to high-stakes cons. Randy, the more pragmatic of the duo, initially hesitates, his brow furrowing as he paces the room. Murder? That's crossing a line, Haley. We've always been about the quick grab, not this. But Haley's persuasion is masterful, a blend of seduction and logic. She paints a picture of paradise. Imagine it: white sands, crystal clear waters, endless cocktails. You'll get your share, a fat one. All you have to do is find something to make it look natural. A poison that mimics a heart attack, perhaps? Bill's not a young man anymore, no one will question it. Randy's acquiescence is a masterstroke of character development. At first glance, he seems reluctant, but as the scene unfolds, we see the greed ignite in his eyes. Fine, he mutters, a sly grin creeping across his face. But I want half. And we do it clean, no loose ends. This exchange isn't just dialogue, it's a symphony of tension, underscored by the show's haunting score that swells with ominous strings. The cousins' plan unfolds in whispered conspiracies, with Randy tasked to procure the means for Bill's natural demise. Speculation runs wild among fans. Will it be a slow-acting toxin slipped into his evening scotch? Or something more insidious, like tampering with his medication? The show's writers have a knack for drawing out suspense, and this plotline is no exception. Why do we think death is indeed coming for Bill? The evidence is mounting, layered like the intricate plot of a thriller novel. First, there's the foreshadowing that's been peppered throughout the season. Bill's health has been a recurring theme. Subtle hints like his occasional dizziness, the doctor's warnings about stress, and even a dream sequence in episode 1.150 where he envisions his own funeral, surrounded by weeping family members. These aren't random, they're breadcrumbs leading to a potentially fatal climax. In soap operas, characters like Bill, wealthy, powerful, but emotionally isolated, often meet tragic ends to propel the story forward, creating vacuums of power that spark new conflicts among heirs and rivals. Moreover, Haley's character arc screams villainy with a capital V. Unlike one-dimensional antagonists, she's complex, a woman scorned by life, using her wits and charms as weapons. Her declaration that Bill must die isn't hyperbole, it's a calculated move. The $10 million policy, purchased from a fictional insurer called Apex Life, was highlighted in a scene where Bill signs the papers, his hands steady but his eyes weary. "This is for you, my love," he tells Haley, oblivious to her internal calculations. Fans have dissected this online, pointing out how the policy's payout clauses favor the spouse in cases of natural death, avoiding scrutiny from suspicious accidents. Haley's insistence on a natural end is strategic, arousing less suspicion from Bill's nosy daughter, Elena, who's already voiced doubts about the marriage. Randy's role adds another layer of dread. As Haley's cousin and enabler, he's the muscle to her brains. His willingness to find something implies a network of shady contacts, perhaps a black market chemist or a corrupt pharmacist. In a dramatic montage, we see Randy making covert phone calls, his face illuminated by the glow of a burner phone in a dimly lit alley. The show excels at these visual metaphors, rain-slicked streets reflecting neon lights, symbolizing the slippery slope of morality. Randy's backstory, revealed in snippets, shows him as a reformed gambler who's fallen off the wagon, desperate for a big score to pay off debts. Haley's promise of a share and an exotic escape is his siren song. Some exotic place, she teases, perhaps the Maldives, with its overwater bungalows and turquoise lagoons, or Bali's lush jungles. These details aren't just fluff, they heighten the stakes, contrasting the paradise they crave with the hell they're willing to unleash. But is Bill truly doomed? The beauty of Beyond the Gates lies in its unpredictability. While the signs point to peril, soap operas thrive on reversals. Perhaps Bill, ever the shrewd businessman, has suspicions of his own. In a subtle scene from episode 1.159, he hires a private investigator to dig into Haley's past, muttering, "Something doesn't add up." This could be his lifeline, or a red herring to mislead viewers. Elena, Bill's fiercely protective daughter, has been a thorn in Haley's side, confronting her with accusatory glares and pointed questions. "You're after his money, aren't you?" Elena snaps in one heated exchange, her voice trembling with rage. If Elena uncovers the plot, it could lead to a dramatic intervention, perhaps a last-minute rescue that exposes the scam and sends Haley and Randy fleeing. Yet, the dramatic potential of Bill's death is too tantalizing to ignore. Imagine the fallout: a lavish funeral attended by the elite, tears streaming down faces as secrets spill forth. Bill's will, rumored to include hidden clauses, could ignite inheritance wars among his children and business partners. Haley, posing as the grieving widow, would collect her payout, only to face karmic retribution, perhaps a twist where the policy is invalidated due to fraud. Randy's cut could lead to his own downfall, betrayed by his cousin in a shocking double cross. These speculations fuel fan forums, where theories abound. Is Haley pregnant with Bill's child, adding a layer of complexity? Could Randy develop a conscience and warn Bill? To delve deeper, let's compare this to iconic soap opera deaths. Think of Stefano Di Mera from Days of Our Lives, whose multiple deaths became legendary, or Victor Newman's heart attacks in The Young and the Restless, which served as plot pivots. Bill's potential demise echoes these, but with a contemporary edge: insurance fraud in an era of digital forensics and true crime obsessions. The show's creators have hinted in interviews that Season 5 will explore darker territories, with death as a central theme. In a recent podcast, head writer Lila Voss teased, "No one is safe in Beyond the Gates. Loyalties will be tested, and lives hang in the balance." Expanding on the emotional toll, consider Bill's inner world. As a man in his late 60s, he's reflected on his legacy in poignant monologues. "I've built an empire," he confides to his trusted advisor, "but at what cost? My family resents me, my health is failing." This vulnerability makes his potential murder all the more tragic. Haley's betrayal cuts deep because it's personal. She's exploited his loneliness, his desire for companionship after years of solitude. The diamonds he gifted her? Not just baubles, but symbols of his affection: a necklace from their honeymoon, earrings for her birthday. Each piece now tainted by deceit. Randy's moral ambiguity adds intrigue. Is he truly perfectly fine with murder, or is there a flicker of doubt? In the episode, his agreement comes swiftly, but his body language, averted eyes, clenched fists, suggests inner conflict. Perhaps a flashback will reveal a past trauma, like losing a loved one to violence, making his involvement a descent into darkness. Haley's promise of escape paints vivid pictures: sipping piña coladas on a private yacht, the sun setting in hues of orange and pink, far from the prying eyes of law enforcement. As we approach the 5.000 episode milestone, the tension is palpable. Will Bill succumb to the plot, his death a catalyst for revenge arcs? Or will fate intervene, exposing the villains in a courtroom drama? The show's ratings have spiked with this storyline, drawing in new viewers hungry for suspense. What do you think about Bill getting killed? Is it inevitable, or will love, or luck, prevail? Share your theories in the comments below. One thing's for sure: in Beyond the Gates, death isn't just an end, it's the beginning of something even more explosive. Let's wait and see, but brace yourselves, the gates to chaos are wide open. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Beyond the Gates updates and news, so subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye bye.